Hey, Inverted, how's it going? Doing all right, man. I am tired. Stream last night, stream early this morning, stream tonight. I need some sleep tonight, man. So tonight is episode 4 of the series Fly Around and Find Out, taking off from 6-5 Sierra, where we ended last episode, and then flying to the small town I grew up in until I was 8 years old, and then going on from there. Some areas in northwest Montana, the very tip of northwest Montana, from this airport in Bonners Ferry, Idaho. So if anyone wants to join me, as usual, on the West US server, all players. I am in summertime with custom weather, not live weather, all that good stuff. So if you want to jump into the airport, 6-5 Sierra on West US server. Sounds good, man. Hey, Doctor, how's it going, man? So, Doc, if you're up for the flight, similar to last night, we will be taking off from the same Bonners Ferry Airport and heading into northwest Montana, where I grew up until I was 8. And we'll stop a couple of places along the way so I can talk to some cool spots. The airport code is 6-5 Sierra. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started up and get lined up for our takeoff here. There's Doctor. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. All right, Doc, I'm just going to go with 1 notch of flaps, half throttle, and just let it float up. Rolling. So for those of you just joining the stream, we just took off from Bonner's Ferry in northern Idaho, where we left off the last episode of Fly Around Find Out. This is a series that I'm doing of places that I've either been a lot or lived, and just flying around the area, talking about stories from the area, little tidbits of info, flying around, checking out the scenery. Little bit of a change of pace from most streams out there for the flight sim. Kind of serious simmers out there. I just wanted to, show off the scenery of these areas that I hold dear. So this is episode 4. We'll be touring through the valley, small town that I lived in when I was born, up until when I was 8 years old, and then just seeing some of the scenery around there. we will loosely be following Highway 2 into Troy, Montana from Bonners Ferry, Idaho. Outlaw, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. And if any of you would like to join us, we are on the West US server. We are in the gravel mod. We just took off from Bonners Ferry, northern Idaho, and we are heading east into northwest Montana. So just up there north of the bridge you see right there, there's an area that is known for, it's private property, but they put on a large mudding event every year. And it's a big thing up there. People travel from distant cities to go take their mudding vehicles, get them all dirty, have a good time. Just like many things last year, they did not do it because of COVID. Mordicus, yes. I have been exploring some of the new features available to me since becoming affiliate, and that is one of them. So now the longer you guys watch, the more Vaughn points you build up, as well as the channel points, which you can use to redeem. There is a limit and a cooldown for the added features, and they are prefixed with FS for being flight sim related. Because I do stream a variety of different things, I've just been doing this series in the sim. Those are specific to the sim streams. Yeah, Outlaw, you missed the official Thank You Got Gravel stream earlier today. I did this morning, where we actually had Gravel with us, and he showed off the mod a little bit. We actually broke the server. We had too many planes for it to show everybody, so it was quite successful, but at the same time it kind of killed our plans of him showing off there at Juneau in Alaska. But you can watch the VOD back and check that out, and you will be seeing some of it in tonight's stream as well. I will be doing my thing and doing the short takeoffs, short landings, all that good stuff. And if you're recently new to the Bush Leagues, they do have in their livery pack my custom livery for the X-Cub as well, the Vaughn. What's up, Metal Moss? How's it going, man? Metal Moss, we actually just took off from Bonner's Ferry where we ended last episode. So if you want to hop in there or just zoom in far enough on the map, West US server as normal. And we are flying into Northwest Montana where I lived until I was 8, and then a little bit further on from there. So, Metal Moss and Doctor, how did you guys like the event this morning? Oh yeah, and by the way, guys, this flight path has some of those terrain glitch spires, and actually last night discovered that the highway is kind of in the sky as well, and there's some vehicles that float, and the weird terrain glitch disappears, but you can still run into it. It's really stupid, but try to just look past it and enjoy the scenery anyway. Yeah, guys, we broke the server. We had too many planes for it to show everybody, and it kind of messed it up for the air show bit with Gravel showing off the mod, but it was a blast nonetheless. And if you guys haven't checked it out yet, go over to B Mint's channel and check out her VOD. The first half of her stream was right alongside us, and it was really entertaining watching that back because she wasn't in the voice channel. She had no idea what was going on, so there's a couple parts that are quite hilarious. And Outlaw, no worries about that, man. We all started out somewhere, and you can, man, feel free to join in on our flights. We're really chill. We're really welcoming. You can join the Discord. The link is on my Twitch profile. You can check that out. Ask any questions you have. Lots of people are really helpful, and depending on your timing, you might run into somebody who might jump in on a flight with you and give you some pointers. So guys, if you want to go ahead and land at the strip here, I'm going to park and take the drone out for a quick tour of the town that I lived in. All right, so this is a really small town, northwest Montana, called Troy. It is where I lived until I was 8 years old. I was born in Kalispell, Montana, and then that's 2 hours away by car. So I was born in March. So all fall and winter long, when my mom had her checkups and whatnot for the pregnancy, they had to drive 2 hours in the wintertime, northwest Montana. Tons of snow everywhere on the highway into Kalispell. Um, so that's quite the feat that they, endured. And this is the Kootenai River. If you guys have ever heard of the movie The River Wild, part of it, if not the majority of it, was filmed on this river. And my dad, my brother, and I were actually fishing right downstream from where they were filming part of that movie. And this here is Highway 2. Just trying to find where my house will be. So that right there is the lower building is the shop. It has been renovated quite a bit since we lived there. The house still looks like it did. They took out the fence and whatnot that we had, but the renovations really look nice. And growing up, I mean, we had a sled hill right in the backyard. We actually had a black bear in the backyard early spring one time when I was really little too. The Fish and Wildlife, came out and captured the bear. They thank you so much for the follow. Is that the change-ups? Thank you so much. The Fish and Wildlife came out and captured the bear and said that it was practically sleepwalking. The spring runoff had actually flooded its den, and so it was just, out of it, just moseying around. They ended up having it in a cage behind the local store in town for about 3 days before it was relocated. The change-ups, it is in the in-game menu, so when you're in a flight, you just mouse over the top here, and then you go over to the camera, and then you select Showcase here. You can make your adjustments for zoom level and speed and all that right here. And then the controls are the numpad for rotation and angle of the lens, and then to move it, use the WS, A, and D keys. So when I was born, my dad worked at a sawmill here in Troy, and it shut down, and then he worked at another one at the next town, which we will be flying over shortly. Really small town. It was about 600 or 700 people when we lived there. Yeah, definitely. You can use a controller. It definitely makes it easier. I do not have an Xbox controller hooked up So this building right here, obviously not, not photogrammetry area by any means, but this building right here is a restaurant that we used to frequent on the weekends. That was our splurge as a family. We would go out, get some pizza there. There's one of the grocery stores. And back here by the tracks, they actually have one of the original jail buildings for the area. Somewhere right in here. One of those historic buildings. It's got a placard and everything. They keep it up real nice, but it's back here. Outlaw, we just crossed the border from Idaho into Montana. So we are at Troy, Montana airstrip right now, and the airport code is 57 Sierra. So this bridge here is pretty much the main artery to go back up into the Forest Service area. I actually had a childhood friend who lived out here up in the hills. Really nice house, really nice property. We'd go out here. When I was really little, we actually went out to get our Christmas tree. Real life Christmas trees was the mainstay. I think we only had a fake Christmas tree one year, but my dad being a logger, he went and found a tree that was marked to fall, and he actually shot the top out of the tree for our Christmas tree with his hunting rifle. Oh yeah, astrophotography out here, no problem. You just go up to one of the hilltops around here, barely any light pollution whatsoever. You can get a nice steady area with all the mountains and trees breaking the wind too, so it'd probably be a lot easier to steady the camera for that. Alright guys, unfortunately my dogs are begging to go out, so I will leave the camera here. Metal and Doc, if you want to just entertain the stream with a little bit of flybys, soul action, anything like that for a minute, and I'll be right back. All right, guys. So sorry about that. Bravo Hotel Bravo. Yeah, it's what I like to do. A little bit different pace. Lots of other streamers are simmers, so they do a lot with avionics and they go up in their airliners. I'm more about the scenery and the slower pace with the bush planes, so definitely a little different. And also, thank you for the follow. Doctor pulling Vons left and right. I saw that. Pulled another one. So, since the recent update and everyone posting the screenshots of train glitches like this all over the globe, it's been pretty interesting. The closer you get, they do disappear. However, the box is still there, so you will run into it. What's up, Nabil? Man, I had that trimmed out good. No autopilot or anything. It was just going. Yeah, definitely. The highway's right on top of one of these glitches, as we found out last night. After stream last night, we were out here. So, yeah, be careful for flying cars on the invisible highway in the sky. So right below us is a really nice rest stop here, where the highways intersect, right there. Really nice to sit there and take in the view because it's up high enough you look over the river. Down there is Bull Lake, where we used to go and picnic when I was a kid. Yeah, hopefully I don't run into it. I don't see the floating cars yet. Doc's given a wide berth. Oh, there's the floating cars. You can see him there. Let's see if I hit the invisibleness. Barely missed a medal. Doc, did you just fly through it? So if you're just joining the stream, So Nabil, this is for you as well as anyone else who just jumped in. The new features in chat for the points. You can now redeem some points. I added that in. All these new features being affiliate now. Alright guys, just a heads up, I am going to live pause over the falls here and take the drone out again. Alright, so this is the Kootenai Falls on the Kootenai River here. This is one of the areas that was in that River Wild movie. And then down here is the swinging bridge that terrified me as a kid. It goes across the gorge, and then there's hiking trails on the other side. But you can see the line there where the rope bridge is. All of this is a really nice area, and there's kind of a park area up here next to this pullout. And there's a couple different trails that you can take on the way down to the falls from there. I've been here many, many, many times as a kid and as an adult. Lots of pictures from the spot. And also when the water was really low, my sister actually did a skit. Inverted coming in with a prime sub. Thank you, Inverted. You now have the emote. You can use the emote. So there's a shot of the falls from my sister. I'll send her the VOD later. And next stop is going to be Libby, Montana. For those of you watching that want to join in, we are on the West US server. And I'll get you the airport code here in a second. So the Libby, Montana airport code is Sierra 59er. If you want to spawn in there and then just link up with us over the town, and then fly with us. Again, that's the West US server, and the airport code that we're heading toward is Sierra 59er. So guys, be sure to check out the exclamation mark commands. Check your points, gamble your points, all that good stuff. There's also the soundbite menu. There is a special soundbite that you can play for when someone pulls a Vaughn, as well as the brand new emotes. See you, Nabil. Have a good one, man. Stay safe out there in the crazy, crazy world. Also, with the channel points next to the chat box, you can see I added a couple of things you can redeem for in there while I'm flying the sim. So if any of you guys are looking for a place to retire, I would highly suggest somewhere in this area be on your list of places to check out. This is just outside Libby, Montana. Directly north of here is what's called the Yak in Montana. Lots of moose hunting, black bear, even some brown bear, and wolves as well, if you can stomach that sort of thing. It's a beautiful area, as you can see. Fly around town a little bit. It's got everything that you need. It's got a couple grocery stores and whatnot, but it's still small enough to retain the small town feel, even though it gives you everything you could ask for. Yeah, Bravo, it is the West US, and we're coming up on Libby, Montana, and that airport code, again, is Sierra 59er. Or if you zoom in far enough at that airport code, you should see our dots on the map. If you have the settings for all players in the world map, so as I said earlier, when I was a kid, the lumberyard that or the sawmill that my dad worked at shut down, and then he ended up working at one out here in Libby as well after that. Outlaw, absolutely, hop in, man. West US server in Libby, Montana. We'll actually go to the airport and meet up with you guys if you want to spawn in there. So again, this is a great town. It's one of my favorites in northwest Montana. The town that I lived in when I was little back there, Troy, it was a little too much in the mountains. Not very much sunlight, but Libby here has enough of a, broad enough of a valley that it really lets the sunlight in the summertime, and it doesn't make it completely dark in the wintertime. Gee, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate that. There's one of the grocery stores there. I think that's the hardware store, actually. They have a nice history museum out here too, with some old tractors and whatnot that were used in the logging. I think it's somewhere around here. Metal Moss, I'm going to dive, just so you know. Dive to the left. Yeah, Bravo, feel free, man. It's an open stream. I'm not, set to offline or anything in the sim. I love having people join me, especially on the scenic flights with the bush planes. The more the merrier, so feel free. And if any of you want to, the link to my Discord is on my Twitch profile page. I'm not sure if it works or shows the button on the mobile, but I know on the web page version it is there, so. So when we did the group flight event earlier this morning with Got Gravel, it was disappointing and awesome at the same time that we broke the server and couldn't see everybody that was there. So we had probably about a total of 35 people flying, and we were all in either the Gravel or the Savage Carbon, and it was a really, really good flight. If you guys are interested, you can watch back the VOD from this morning. Got Gravel was with us, and it was just a blast. So did both of you guys, Outlaw and Bravo? Did you both just now get the mod? This is your first time with it. Yeah, it's my favorite add-on for the sim, and it's for being freeware especially. It's insane how awesome this thing is. Mike Patey would be very proud. And yes, Metal Moss, I know it's when I first started doing this schedule, because I don't actually have a schedule, it's kind of hard. Um, I was trying not to encroach on Fliggity's stream times, so this morning I actually got a little bit more viewers from the US, believe it or not. Usually when I stream, there's a few people that chime in from Europe because it's morning time there. If you guys want to join up on me, I'm at half throttle, and I'll just kind of mosey around the river here if you guys want to catch up, and then we'll continue on with the flight. Chi, we're talking about this here, the Gravel, by Got Gravel. It is an awesome mod built on the Zlin Savage Cub, and he added 230 horsepower engine, the bush wheels, had myself and two test pilots, real life pilots, had the alpha tester, and this is the pride and joy right here. This is a tribute to Mike Patey's Scrappy, as you can tell by the paint job here. But it is an awesome bush plane. Yeah, Bravo, definitely. It is one of the most forgiving bush planes. The X Cub, having the FMS, glass cockpit and stuff is nice for the longer hauls, and definitely with the cruise speed compared to the other stock aircraft. However, I definitely prefer the Bush League Legends performance mod for that as well. But this is by far my favorite. I'm dropping the throttle a little bit more so you guys can catch up. Yeah, Doctor, it really is. I mean, it's low speed, high speed, anything you throw at this thing, it's got it down. And for those of you flying with us or thinking about hopping in, I am in summertime with the preset scattered clouds. I did raise the clouds, change the time of day to the morning time. It is not live weather by any means. It's pretty much socked in last I checked. Gotcha, Metal. Well, I hope you guys have a fresh oil change in your gravels because this is about to push it a little bit. We're going to push the throttle forward once we get over the dam to the left here, and we're going to fly Vaughn style for a little bit instead of leisure style. If you guys have the default 50% fuel, you should have no problems keeping up. I did take off with full fuel, so. This is another really nice area, lots of great camping. There is a Army Corps of Engineers campground right next to the reservoir up here by the dam. Beautiful area, all of these Forest Service roads up here to explore. It's amazing when you've got the good weather during the summertime. The dam doesn't look as bad as some in the sim, but it doesn't look as good either. It seems water lines and dams have some major issues in the sim. It's looking a little bit better now. As soon as I cross over the threshold, I'm going to go full throttle. Yeah, Metal Moss, me too. Some of the ones I try to throw out there and either doesn't have it or doesn't have it updated or something, and he doesn't seem to enjoy the bush planes nearly as much as I do. That's for sure. But it would be fun to do a little bit more like this stuff on the stream occasionally. But the setup that he has with the requests and everything, it's great. It's really entertaining to watch the variety of the requests that are out there. Hold of on, somebody play the soundbite. I turned the camera just in time for that Metal Moss. Yeah, I didn't hear either of them play, though. Could you guys hear it? Interesting. I'll have to double check that after stream. So this reservoir, this lake is Lake Koocanuska in Montana. And we are heading toward Eureka, which is not that far from the Canadian border. A beautiful day trip from Kalispell when I lived there was taking the long loop, go up to Eureka, and then down this road along the shore into Libby, and then back to Kalispell. It's a great drive. Speaking of points for everybody, next to the chat box, the channel points there. Can you guys check that out and see if you have enough to redeem one of the new features? Inverted with the invert, of course. Of course. Alright, that's tough. So yeah, I added 3 random Vaughn moves in there. Inverted, drop, and cut. So should be a little more interesting now. We should be coming up on a bridge. If I remember correctly, we can fly under this one, so let's give it a go. It's a really nice bridge to, if there's not any traffic, just go slow and take some pictures as you're crossing. It's nice. Not quite there yet. And obviously a lake like this, in the summertime, it is just packed with boats, water skiers, tubers, you name it. That is correct, Metal Moss. Lake Kupanusa, in between Eureka and Libby. It's great. Yeah, I had this plane for a little while before it was public knowledge, so it was really hard to keep my mouth shut about it. I liked it so much, just as the alpha tester. So it only got better from there. But it's just been blowing everything else out of the water as far as what I've been flying. I've pretty much been flying this almost nonstop. I mean, I have flown other things. I've flown the Cirrus and the X Cub and the TBM, King Air, but for the majority of my flights, for a while, it has been this plane. It's great, isn't it, Outlaw? So if any of you watching Have the Sim want to join in, we are on the West US server. We are coming up on the next airport, which is Eureka, Montana. '88 Mike is the airport code. 88 Mike, West US server. And we will be stopping there for a short intermission. let's climb up for a little bit. Still at full throttle. Show off some of the scenery around here before we go and land. Eureka, Montana is one of those places. It's it's a small community, farmland and whatnot, but it is just an awesome place to visit, awesome place to day trip from Kalispell or Whitefish. Yeah, Metal, why don't you guide us into the airport? We'll just follow you and go ahead and brake. Thank you so much for the follow. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that right now. Thank you. Little squirrely there, Doc. All right, KSD it is then. Yeah, that's pretty much all I do is general aviation. The biggest thing that I normally will voluntarily fly, unless I'm flying with Fliggity and it's a requirement for the flight, is the King Air. That's the biggest one that I like to fly. I will fly the executive jets as well, but I like the King Air. Alright, guys, have fun flying around for a couple of minutes or take a break with me. I will be right back. Yeah, Outlaw. It is the most forgiving plane I think there is in the sim. KSD, the gravel is, in my opinion, the better of the two got gravel mods, but the Savage Carbon and the gravel are both available on flightsim.to. And there's Doctor in the Carbon for comparison. So Doctor is in the Batman livery of the Savage Carbon, and with the drone zoomed in all the way, you can kind of see the subtle difference of the tires. It is the same airframe. Um, the engines are different in the mods. The tuning and whatnot has been completely done on both of these by two real life pilots, and the gravel as well was tested by me in its alpha stage. For fun factor, I guess you could say, just to test it out the way that I do things. But yeah, lots of work has gone into these. Earlier this morning, we did a thank you Got Gravel flight, which I did stream. You can watch that back. Where Got Gravel was with us, we actually broke the server and had too many airplanes for it to display everybody. So it was great this morning. Yeah, no metal. He's originally from Holland. Yeah, I will definitely pass that along. In fact, I'll do that right now. I'll just copy your message. All right, chat. And those flying with me, we are about to take off from Eureka, and we are heading to Kalispell, kind of doing a loop back down to a previous episode. That was nice. That was real nice and vivid. And again, for you guys flying with me, I am at half throttle just because that's the easiest thing to do with my setup. There's a dead zone where it'll rest at half throttle, so I'll leave it there. You guys can join up on me or fly around inverted like inverted does, and let's head down to Kalispell. KSD, that was no flaps as well. This thing is insane with Stoll and the water skiing. It's remarkable how capable this thing is, how forgiving it is. It's just a blast to fly when you're in a scenic area like this. If you load in with the and you don't touch the trim at all, you just let the tail pick up gently, pushing forward a little bit, and then as soon as you gently push back, I mean, it just wants to be in the air so bad. KSD, I'm actually from Idaho. I did a group flight. I did a group flight a while back. Got Gravel, Savage Carbon group flight. That was a lot of fun. Did that for Pearl Harbor Memorial flight. I'm just letting it fly right now. I mean, I have the trim set and it's still climbing a little bit, but it's nice and steady, even with a little bit of wind turbulence. There's inverted. KSD, the episode 1 of this series. Thank you so much for the sub. Thank you. Episode 1 of this series was Idaho City. I'm from there, grew up there during my teen years, so I did a tour of that town. I lived in Boise for a couple years, and I've been down in Nevada for a while. I'm still an Idaho resident, but I've been down in Nevada for a while. Working at Tesla for 2 years now, so did a lot of flights. Even the Idaho group flight, we actually started out of Boise Airport. Yeah, Stanley is awesome. One of my favorites is Benchmark. And we've got somebody in the BL3, which also brings up another fact. Got Gravel was also involved with the modification of the BL3 with the Rotax engine. He was part of that crew as well. And I'm just letting it fly itself, guys, right now. I'm hands off. I mean, it's just trimmed out. It's doing its thing. Inverted, you're looking good. Metal Moss, bring it in a little bit more, Doctor. Yeah, cost of living out there in California is ridiculous, but it's increasing down here too. But one of the reasons I'm not a resident down here. But I am getting married next month, so I'll be back up in Idaho most likely. Thank you. Inverted, that would be awesome. I expect to see some YouTube videos on that if you do that. Alright, I think it's drifting a little bit. It actually knows where we're going. It's kind of funny that it started drifting that way. Yeah, inverted. I would think, the way to preface it would be, video only, no audio, things like that. Just, out the windscreen. Maybe have a selfie cam. Yeah, for sure. KSD, I do. It is linked in my profile on Twitch if you're watching on web. It doesn't work on mobile, however, so if you are on mobile, just let me know. I'll have to send you a link. Absolutely, you're welcome. Anytime you see me in the open in-flight Unicom, you can feel free to jump in the voice chat as well. And I'm usually in there when I'm just free flying around, and anyone can hop in. Speaking of which, if you're watching and you have the sim, you want to join us, we are in the West US server. We took off from Eureka most recently, and we're heading down south to Kalispell. The nearest airport to us, I think we just passed it. Yep, 01 Mike Tango. So if you're on the West US server, you go to 01 Mike Tango on the map. You'll see our dots on there. You can just spawn in on us. Metal, I don't have any. I think it's because I have it on July. In the weather settings, I set it back to July. I'm not sure. If somebody has enough points, you can always go into the channel points there and redeem drop. And Outlaw, just an FYI, got a message back from Gravel. He said already had a little bit of feedback about that, and it's already in the works to be figured out for the next update. So hopefully it'll be on the next one, and it'll be fixed. Does anyone in chat have enough channel points to redeem drop? Alright then, I can fix that. Going down, boys. Full flap straight down. How's that for some scenery? Yeah, Metal, the FS redeemable Vaughn moves, as I put them in there. Drop is to get low, and cut is to practically do a dead stick. And then invert obviously is inverted. I love how full flaps and straight down it still holds you back and you lose airspeed. This plane is amazing. So this right here is a cut for the power lines. They're all over the Northwest like this because the forest is so thick there. And there are other places in the country and whatnot, but it's really cool to see in the sim from the air that they actually have these in here. I'm gonna hang a little bit further left. We're gonna fly low over Whitefish Lake on the way in. I'm dropping back to half throttle. We're losing the Savage Carbon back there. Sorry, Doc. Oh, inverted. No. Hold them on. There we go. I heard it that time. Twice. And then there goes Metal Moss. Another one bites the dust. Slight right, and we will just come up over the Whitefish City Beach. Beautiful and historic Whitefish, Montana. A Up on the mountains back there, you can kind of see it up there. Ski lodge, really nice ski lodge. I actually used to drive for Uber up here, and I take lots of people up there to the ski lodge. It's a nice drive. There's the train tracks. Here's downtown. And again, this is a previous episode, this area. So if you guys want to check that out in the VODs, feel free to do so. Episode 2. Going to follow the highway for a little bit, and then we will be peeling off to the left for a right-hand circuit into the runway at Glacier International Airport. And at the top of this hill, in real life it's a little bit more of a pronounced hill than it is in Sim, but here at the top, right there, let's make our turn left. KSD, that's fine. No worries there. Just let us know what speed. This thing goes pretty fast when it's full up, so. The airport for Glacier International is KGPI. And so this whole area is the Flathead Valley in Montana. We are north of Kalispell right now, where I was born. And this will always be home to me. I got spoiled with Montana. Turning base now. And turning final. Half throttle, 1 notch. Notch 2. Nice one, Doc. Oh, Outlaw. Pull the Vaughn. Yeah, Outlaw, that third notch of flaps is 60 degrees. It is rarely needed, but for Stoll, it's a last minute pop and it just floats you down. It takes some getting used to, but once you do, man, it's awesome. All right, chat. So you know what time it is. It is that time for the screen. I'm debating whether or not to do an automatic bonus round tonight. I really am. I will keep flying with you guys regardless, but I'll go ahead and put it on the screen and we'll see what happens. All right, 2 new follows. Thank you guys so much. And the bonus round is for the stream to continue. Normally, I would stay in the sim and fly with the group a little bit more at the end of the stream, but the bonus round just takes the stream along with us. So, for the bonus round tonight, what I had planned was a flight through Glacier National Park, which is just to the east of us. Um, Make sure you've got fuel in your plane. Bring it back up to 50. We won't need that much, but just to make sure the balances are all right. And then, yeah, if you guys want to join us, you have the sim. We are in the West USA server at KGPI, Glacier International Airport. Right now, we will be lining up and taking off shortly. KSD, what are you referring to? What's the question? Cruise at half throttle is about 110 to 120, depending on the trim and the wind. I actually prefer flying fast, but when I'm flying with people and a mixed variety of planes, I usually leave it at that halfway point. The engine's happy, the RPMs are happy. That's where it should sit, according to Gravel himself. So for this takeoff, I again will be showing off the takeoff power, which is about 5,800 RPM, and no flaps, so you guys can see this. Brakes off. And this is not pulling back at all. I have it trimmed, and now I'm rotating. It just wants to fly so bad. Doctor says go full. I'm going full. I'm going to redline it the whole way through Glacier. So Glacier National Park, when I lived up there in Kalispell, I only went to the park a couple times. The main reason being that you can't take your dog out of the vehicle in the park, what with the wildlife up there and whatnot. So, what I did instead was I went to the south to Hungry Horse Reservoir, which is just as beautiful in many areas, and it's all Forest Service, so I just go hiking out there with my dog all the time. So, if any of you are interested, this area is amazing for the bush flights, the bush planes. There's lots of sandbars in the Flathead River that goes all the way through the valley. This whole valley basically was made by the ancient glacier. It was originally a glacier lake, and so the sediment just all settled here in the valley and made really awesome farmland. Unfortunately, a lot of it is being converted to residential, but that's why it's so flat here in the valley from that old glacier that just settled here. And then south of Kalispell is Flathead Lake, which is amazing. Another amazing day trip to take, driving around, go down one side of Folsom and then up the other side. It's a great drive as well. To our left here we have Columbia Falls, another small town that's got a great feel to it. Great rodeo out there as well. And in episode 2 of this series, when I did tour Kalispell, I did go over the Hungry Horse Reservoir area and kind of show some of my favorite areas along there that I used to go with my dog. So what we'll do is we'll continue flying low. We'll fly over Lake McDonald into Glacier National Park, and then we will slowly ascend to the Going to the Sun Pass and the visitor center there, and then I will make a sharp left turn dive off the other side. We've got plenty of warning for you guys what's going on there. Got a little bit of wind turbulence here. Doc, what are you referring to the NFS in the air? Ah, yes. Yes, indeed. So right there is a really nice RV park. So, for those that don't know, I do not stream on a regular basis. On the subject of RV park, I've been a full-time RVer for next month will be 5 years full-time in my trailer, and internet issues kind of limit my streaming capabilities. So I don't have a schedule set, but usually I try to start about the same time that Fliggity ends his stream. So it's usually about 11 Pacific time that I start. There goes Doc showing off his 280 horsepower mod. This is one of the places that I have found that the railroad tracks actually have the satellite data show, the imagery of a train on the tracks, which is pretty cool. If you're up high enough, it doesn't look that bad. But if you're down low like this, you can definitely tell that it's just the image and not populated. There's a couple places in Europe I've noticed that the sim populated a passenger train as a building, which was kind of disappointing. So we're coming up on Lake McDonald here. This is one of the famous places to take pictures of Glacier because you can see it off there in the distance. And inverted switch to the MP339. Of course he did. Inverted and I have been in that jet flying around Glacier before, having lots of fun diving in and out of all the deep ridges, practically the fjords of Glacier, and the Continental Divide that we're coming up on. I've said it before, chat, and I'll say it every time I fly here. It's remarkable that a simulator can make you homesick. Metal Moss, no, he's got the 280 horsepower mod in the config file, so his is faster, but the Carbon is not faster. Should be on the red line, right? No, not on the red line. What was that? 45, 145? I mean, on the red line for the RPM, but not for the speed, so we're good. We'll just, replace the engine for the 4th time. Nice one, inverted. $600? What have you been doing? I think that's an exaggeration. The last screenshot you shared was 30 hours ahead of me, and I have like 200 and something. Oh yeah, well I've got that beat because my internet's so dumb. The updates take forever. So as far as Steam is concerned, I have over 700 hours in this thing. So the Going to the Sun Road, which is the horizontal line you see up there on the mountain, there's one spot where it has a tunnel. It's kind of a one-sided tunnel. It's basically just a reinforcement for the hillside, and on the outside of the tunnel, they have arches built in. So it's basically got windows on that side. It's really cool to drive this road. So we're coming up on the Going to the Sun Pass up here at the top where the visitor center is. You'll see it on the satellite imagery, and it's pretty cool. In most of the spots here, it looks like that. There's a few spots that it's kind of looks like Alaska or Canada. It's got some issues, but overall, it's still remarkable how realistic it looks. And I'm going to start my turn and dive. There's the visitor center right there. So going through Glacier National Park here, we will be crossing the Continental Divide. It's amazing, the mountain range here in Montana, if you fly north along the mountain range, along the Continental Divide into Canada, it's a great flight, great mountains. Sorry about the terrain not loading correctly. Since the updated terrain data in the last couple of updates, it's had some issues in some areas like that. Jagged edges on that mountain. So we are now officially in East Glacier. Just look at that scenery. And look at all of you guys flying with me. This is great. As you can see by the coloration, there's also a lot of sediment layers and a lot of minerals in the mountains here. KSD, that's an interesting issue to have for sure. So with all the mountains we flew through on this flight from northern Idaho through northwest Montana and then through Glacier, this is really a good representation of what it's like to go from the Rocky Mountains into the plains, because it just, within a matter of miles, it just flattens out. KSD, I'm assuming that was you that just switched to the Cirrus. Cruise speed on that one is 150, if I'm not mistaken, right? I think you should be good. I'm at 140 right now with a slight descent. 150. You might catch up. And welcome to the Great Plains, ladies and gentlemen. Aren't you like on the verge of stall inverted? Maybe not quite. I think stalling that thing is like 113. Metal Moss, yes. I talked to another streamer that I play with Rainbow Six, and him and his fiance play that quite a bit. They have all the DLCs. They were saying that if I joined them on a multiplayer, that I would have access as long as I'm on theirs. So I might be able to actually experience the DLCs. But yeah, we definitely need to get into that. I was telling Inverted to get it as well, so we can get kind of a group going on that. I think we should turn south more. Go ahead into the Star Browning Airport. it's definitely a change of scenery from what we were just playing. Alright guys, I'm turning one final. Hold the button. There's Doc showing off the Hunter camo. Outlaw the Snowpiercer. Here comes Chaos for a second attempt in the SR-22 Turbo. Sink rate. Float. No pressure. Nice. So I had a chance when I lived in Oklahoma to fly the SR-22 Turbo. I worked at an airport outside of Oklahoma City, and got to go up with the regional test pilot for Cirrus aircraft. It was a blast, and he let me fly it around the Kingfisher area. There's a training box airspace, so we went up there. It was when I got the bug, for sure. But I really like the Cirrus. It's a nice plane. Well, folks, I really appreciate you sticking it through this stream a little bit longer tonight. What a blast having you all with me. So much fun. I really appreciate it, you guys, and thank you all for the follows, for the subs, all that good stuff. I am going to end the stream here. I'm going to do a couple STOL takeoffs, landings, and whatnot after the stream. So those with me here, go ahead and stick around if you want to have a little bit more fun just goofing off for a few minutes. Otherwise, I'll catch you next time on the next stream.